And we are back with an all-new episode of Keep It. I'm Ira Madison III.
I'm Louis Fertel, and today a couple of special things are occurring. One, we're all wearing our favorite Broadway star shirts. Ira, who is yours?
Well, I don't know if it's my favorite Broadway star, but it's one of my favorite productions of the last year. I noticed this jellicle here on my shirt.
Oh, yes. Is that
Cats
Mr.
Jellicle Ball?
I tried to come up with a Cats character, and I was like Mr. McFlur Scherzinger. Like, I had nothing.
Yeah, I think you just said a Superman villain.
Yeah.
But if you say his name backwards, you can defeat him.
I am cheekily wearing a Madonna shirt. This will shock everybody at home. She was in the 1988 David Mamet Speed the Plow production. And if you have footage of this production, you will be killed because Madonna doesn't want you to have that. And also today, we have a fabulous guest, a returner to Keep It, the incredible theater critic, Juan Ramirez. Welcome back to Keep It.
Hi, everyone, with my Audra shirt. Thank you, Louis. Thank you, Ira. No such welcome from you.
Yes, that's
okay.
right.
He was speaking.
When has that stopped you?
He just introduced you. What was I supposed to say? Yes, welcome Juan.
Would have been nice.
Fine, Juan A. Ramirez, because I know how serious you get about that A.
Thank you, and I can feel the accent in the way you say my last name, too.
Juan A. Ramirez.
Though if I'm writing a byline as you do all the time, I would be a very strong stickler for the initial. So I didn't mean to leave that out. I apologize.
Ask your producers. I am.
Okay, very good.
Kennedy!
By the way, your shirt, which is, as you just said, an Audra McDonald shirt, is stunning. We will get into the Tony nominations today and also the Tony season in general. But since you have the Audra shirt here, is this the definitive performance for you of the season?
No.
Interesting.
It's the definitive t-shirt, which like during the winter, I would sort of unzip my coat into a reveal, you know? No. And is it obscene for one person to have 7 Tonys? We'll get into it, I'm sure.
Yes, very much
Yeah.
so.
Also, let's talk about the Broadway merch currently. The girls are not stepping it up. A lot of this merch is bad.
If I was wearing who I really wanted my definitive performances, it would be Megan Hilty and Jen Simard. But the Death Becomes Her merch is fugly. So I did not buy anything from that damn gift shop.
That is always so disappointing. Like if I go to a concert and it's somebody who like I rarely see, like, you know, when like Alanis Morissette finally goes on tour or something, and I line up for the merch and I'm like, I can't do anything with this, or I'd have to cut it up or come up with some like Project Runway Day to Evening version of this outfit to serve.
No, but certain people like Lana Del Rey, I've made it a point to buy something from each and every album and tour cycle because it's increasingly more hideous. And it's in a really comical space where it's just like, just clip art, her name is blurry, maybe misspelled. Just beautiful.
Yeah, I'm a merch girl. I love concert merch, and I would like to get more into some of the theater merch. But you know, usually I just end up getting a hat. Like the hats are a little chic. Like I really loved Bam's hat for A Streetcar Named Desire.
The
it
Gillian
was better
Anderson
than the
one?
play.
It's a hat that just says streetcar, so it's okay.
It's chic. It's Tennessee Williams chic, and like I said, it's better than the play.
Yeah, I mean, all for public transportation, of course. Not so much for that rent.
That was the Paul Mescal one you're talking about, right?
Yeah, that was
Okay,
Paul
got it.
Mescal. He
Yeah.
looked good.
That streetcar's been clanging through Brooklyn.
Yeah. You can find him in that basement on most weekends.
Yeah.
But no, I think a lot of the merch too is very like it's creeped into this thing where it'll have like a quote from the play, and not even a good quote from the play, like the John Proctor is the villain merch, and it's just the quote here, and it looks like the worst merch that, you know, a mom in Denver is gonna wear.
The Death Becomes Her one is like, slay diva, drink the potion.
No.
We need to get people to go to the theater.
I feel like people who are creating this merch also just overestimate the like viability of quotes from these plays too. Like just not as iconic as they once were, unless it's literally based on, you know, Sunset Boulevard, something that is like completely historic in terms of pop culture. It just doesn't work. Like just put the title on something and make it cute.
Yeah, or Cola Scola for Old Mary. The merch that they had was just, it was a black hat with a new play by Cola Scola, which is fit in the theme of like, you can see hats where people have like directed by Stanley Kubrick or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was au courant and it was chic, you know? And I love wearing that hat. People love wearing that hat. But no, a lot of this merch is just, it's down bad. That's an early keep it segment from us. Get the merch, more hopping, because I guess people can, you want like people who are visiting to wear it and go back to their hometown and like they can enjoy it and remember the show. But like, think of it as a fashion moment too, like merch is fashion.
Wait, you had a segment. Because listeners, I'm also unfortunately a keep it historian. You had a segment called Down Bad?
No, I just said the merch is down bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That
Lewis
was
doesn't know what
good.
down bad means.
I was saying, imagine me saying down bad. I would feel bad for me and the listeners.
He heard that Taylor Swift song and he threw his phone out the window. Okay.
Okay, now you've brought her name up. Can I say my least favorite thing about her is how she kind of co-opts a phrase that's just in the air and turns it into a song. That happens all the time. Like the titles of her song are like, we can't have nice things, like that kind of bullshit. It's just like pulled from a word bank every single time. We don't need to go into her.
And you're right, we don't. But speaking of merch, you know what I'm obsessed with? Do you remember when Kylie Jenner tried to trademark the word Kylie? And then Kylie Minogue, pre-Padam, stepped up from the shadows and was like, nuh-uh. I have to believe that's the reason why this latest tour merch is just the word Kylie.
Oh, I find it's very resentful. And by the way, I think Australians are generally speaking allergic to a resentment. Like there's a hole in the ozone layer there and they're enjoying it. And because of those rays, they don't have resentment vibes. But I think Kylie really had to fight to make that happen. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Listen, I think that Kylie Minogue is like one of the sweetest pop stars that we have. And, as we said, Azealia Banks is usually right most times. And she tweeted about
puss.
She tweeted about Kylie last year. See, I like Kylie Minogue a lot because she's actually giving joyous cunt everlasting and her music hits. She is the effervescent puss. Nothing about her is shady, condescending, or forced. She is a big purr.
And we will, I think, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, be getting into the verses and rhymes of Azealia Banks today because she decided to sit down with the Met Gala last night and break down every single look. Honestly, I will say this. There is a hole in pop culture from where Joan Rivers once was. Like, I just want someone to say something like abrupt and nasty, and then also they're famous. So there is a bit of risk to it. And Azealia Banks, I'm not saying there's much risk because what can she come down from? I mean, she's like in the trenches. She lives in the Mariana Trench. But
put her in this damn show. Y'all used to have women on here.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, I don't. That would
the show. Baby, you remember what she said about this show?
Podcasts are the brokest form of media was the actual quote.
No, I love her, but
is she monetizing Grok or whatever Twitter's have got going on?
I know. I don't think you even make that much fucking money from Twitter, which is crazy that, the Elon bots love it. And by Elon bots, I mean white men who are jerking off between tweets. I think that we really are missing this area because you have fun people like a Nikki Bell, who's online, and I love his TikToks, which is just quick going through people's fashion. But I don't know, you either have some people online who are just so sort of nasty on TikTok now about things that there's no depth or real humor to it. They're just sort of being assholes about celebrities. Or you have people who have big platforms who are just basically PR for celebrities at this point too. It's like you're not saying anything interesting. It's everything's slay mama. Everything's boots, the house.
No, I was just saying that my least favorite word in all of entertainment, but especially theater, is gratitude. Everyone is everyone has so much damn gratitude. And I'm like, I know statistically 2 people backstage had to piss you off.
It just doesn't need to be stated. Like, of course you have gratitude for whatever production you're in or whatever's going on in your celebrity life or something. It just doesn't need to be restated.
Whatever happened to catitude? Am I right?
Whatever happened to the beatitude? Some people need Jesus. this episode, as we said, we will dissect the Met Gala, which had a very rad theme this year, and a good about face from previous years. It didn't feel repetitive at all, at least to me. We'll get into that, and then, of course, we'll get into Keep It, too. And Juan will also contribute to that. We rarely let the guest host do the Keep It's with us, so that's very exciting for you.
You've done one before, haven't you?
Yeah, it was about grammar. I actually have some this time.
Kelsey or Camille? Or the daughter?
It's about Kelsey Grammer's wine that he's been hawking. No, it was about what the fuck? It was about Oxford commas or something. I don't know.
Wow.
Wait, Kelsey Grammer has a wine brand?
I believe so, because I remember a coworker 2 years ago, like, left the day in the middle, like, to just go get his wine bottle signed or something.
Oh, that's so weird for him to have douchebag vibes. I just can't believe it. We'll be right back with more Keep It.
Keep It is brought to you by Soul. Soul gummies are a perfect replacement for alcohol, which I've kind of been drinking less of these days. Kind of like Lewis.
Yeah.
You know?
Been almost 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, you know, the headaches, the extra calories, who needs them?
I feel the same way. Also, I am what we call Irish, and I don't know, something about alcohol hangs on us the wrong way. We get what we call the fear after we drink. Look it up.
And I saw Long Day's Journey on Tonight. It was a documentary about your people.
That's right. That's my whole family. Yes. Katharine Hepburn, my dear mother.
Listen, having a microdose of THC instead of a stronger edible is always preferable, because me and a big edible, I am down boots. All right. I'm not even getting off the couch to go to bed. I just pass out there.
And that is where today's sponsor, Soul, can help. Soul is a wellness brand that believes feeling good should be fun and easy. Soul specializes in delicious hemp-derived THC and CBD products designed to boost your mood and help you unwind. Their best-selling out-of-office gummies were designed to provide a mild, relaxing buzz, boost your mood, and enhance creativity and relaxation. The out-of-office gummies come in 4 different strengths, so you can find the perfect dose for your vibe. Choose from a gentle microdose, perfect buzz, a noticeable high, or a fully lit experience. Come back to Earth sometime, kids.
With wellness at the forefront, you can feel good about what you're putting in your body. All of Soul's products are made from organically farmed, U.S.-grown hemp and are vegan, gluten-free, and low in sugar. Plus, Soul has so many other amazing wellness products with or without THC, including a variety of gummies and capsules that can improve sleep, stress, pain, focus, bloating, and more. So bring on the good vibes and treat yourself to Soul today. Right now, Soul is offering our audience 30% off your entire order. Go to getsoul.com and use the code KEEPIT. That's getsoul.com, promo code KEEPIT for 30% off.
Keep It is brought to you by Helix. If you've paid attention to me for even a nanosecond, you know I have a Helix mattress and that I love it. You know what we rarely talk about? The sex on it. Mother,
wow.
It is so good.
Dr. Ruth.
Here I am, lowering my glasses and looking to camera. Can't recommend it enough. You'll just have to experience it for yourself. I'm not going to go into it further. But anyway, everybody is unique and everybody sleeps differently. That's why Helix has several different mattress models to choose from, each designed for specific sleep positions and feel preferences. Take the Helix sleep quiz and find your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. The Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including models with memory foam layers to provide optimal pressure relief if you sleep on your side, which I do. I truly was getting cramps in my hand one night and I was like, what am I doing? Am I exercising wrong? No, Lewis, you're crushing your hand in your sleep. I'm like a detective. Models with a more responsive foam to cradle your body for essential support in stomach and back sleeping positions as well.
The memory foam remembers everything.
What happens on the memory foam stays in the memory foam.
Helix Sleep knows there's no better way to test out a mattress than by sleeping on it in your own home. And so that's why they offer a 100-night trial and a 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your new Helix mattress. Plus, your personalized mattress is shipped straight to your door free of charge.
Go to helixsleep.com/keepit for 27% off site-wide and a free bedding bundle, which includes a sheet set and mattress protector for sex with any Luxe or Elite mattress order exclusive for listeners of Keep It. That's helixsleep.com/keepit for 27% off site-wide and a free bedding bundle, including a sheet set and mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order exclusive for listeners of Keep It. helixsleep.com/keepit. Do it for sex.
On Monday, fashion's biggest night returned once again. This year's Met Gala was co-hosted by Coleman Domingo, Lewis Hamilton, A$AP Rocky, and Pharrell Williams. The theme was super fun, tailoring Black style, which celebrated Black dandyism across the decades. There were suits, fabulous hats, and even Diana Ross, mother to all. So first, we're going to hear from our expert on Black dandyism, Louis Vuitton.
Oh, that really is grim. First of all, I'll say this: the tailoring aspect of this theme made most of the looks, I think, more chic and kind of like streetwear-ish than you normally get. Like, it was less extravagant than you normally get from the Met Gala, but that is fine. We've had that Met Gala several times in several outsized ways. The one downside to this is because it's kind of streetwear, I feel like you saw a lot of looks that celebrities might just wear elsewhere. In fact, I felt like a sub-theme of this Met Gala is, what would Coleman Domingo just wear? And felt like people were sort of dressing in the kind of him universe of fashion, which, by the way, should just be explored more. So it was novel for the most part.
I would also say you got moments like Nicole Kidman, who, listen, we love Mother.
Yes.
She went from the Brat tour to the Met Gala the next day. And I think her look at the Brat tour, where she was just wearing some jeans and some sunglasses, kind of fit the theme more, because she showed up to the Met Gala just looking like she was going to the Golden Globes. And my favorite thing was I was watching the Vogue live recap of the red carpet, which, by the way, they missed a lot of celebrities.
Oh,
so fuck that live stream. They cut off a lot of people, and then I had to find those photos later online or on Getty Images. But everyone was some people who stopped for Vogue were asked, what does this theme mean to you? And I love asking white people this question, right?
Nicole is like, well, I was just she thinks a black dandy is like a flower in her yard or something.
But she said, well, I spoke to Anna about it, and Anna said, remember, it's tailoring to you, so really get that outfit that's tailor-made for you. And I really think that is what a lot of the white celebrities just went for, which is fine. But I appreciated people who stepped outside the box. And honestly, let me give Nicole her flowers, her Black dandies, because she actually did, like a performer, spin it around and say, I'm actually representing, the women who supported the Black dandies in that time period, And I'm like, you know what? Come on, County Cullen. Okay, like she is giving you, I am the white benefactress who is giving James Baldwin the money that he can just hang out in Paris and write his book. That is a vibe. She spun that, and that's why she's Mother.
Okay.
I would describe hers and Lana Del Rey's look as Sarah Paulson. So I admire
the original Black dandy. Yes.
On the other side of the coin, you have the one white person who was, well, for lack of a better word, I'm going to be a nigga. And this was Amelia Gray, Lisa Rinna's daughter, who wore a lace do-rag on the carpet. And that is not what we wanted to see, baby. That's a little bit too much embracing of the Black culture, okay?
You're suffocating us. Yeah.
Baby, you ain't never been to Inglewood, okay? Like, calm down. You don't even let your Black housekeeper wear a do-rag in your Beverly Hills home, okay? So where you find that at?
Okay, we should just get into the favorites, because that was a disturbing image. Thank you so much. All right. Once again, the entire reason we throw a Met Gala is because of Rihanna, who is pregnant, I don't know if you heard, for the third time. And the look she contrived is definitely in sync with Black dandyism, but it is also quite Mary Poppins for her. So I was surprised to see this look.
People were surprised that she was pregnant too, and I feel like we've known this since the trial. I guess it wasn't publicly stated, but she was also had this influencer trip to Barbados, where every person you've muted on TikTok and Instagram seemed to be there, and she was wearing the flowy dress, and she was very visibly pregnant. So I was shocked that this was presented as news.
I always just sort of assume she's pregnant, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
She
safer that way. Yeah.
Wait, but speaking of white people stepping out of line, perhaps, look, Sabrina Carpenter going as a Pullman porter? Why not?
Oh yeah, she's
Why
wearing this
not?
she's wearing this sort of burgundy fitted tux or jacket with like a leotard. I have to say, I always support this kind of look, which comes back every couple years or so because it reminds me of Vanity Six and like Prince proteges who later become Christians. And it's just like the leg into the hips line, I feel like is underrated in fashion. And I'm sort of psyched to see her wear it. It's also very Paula Abdul.
Yes, I really liked her outfit. And I also loved Bad Bunny wearing his
Yes.
brown Prada suit. And he had this chic bag with him. Like, first of all, Benito always looks good. Okay. I need to get down to Puerto Rico this summer so that I can see his residency. But I do want to comment
Bad Bunny, you've been
on
warned.
Oh, I do want to comment on the cut, which deleted an Instagram post that they wrote about Bad Bunny because he's looking a lot like the Dick in the Box guy from SNL, just because of the bag he was holding. And I guess someone thought that that was inappropriate, and it was deleted.
I see. I like the bag. However, I do think it's a little too much of an ad for Prada in the same way that, and I hate to say this, but I do think Doechii's look would have been perfect was it not so beholden to the LV logo.
Yeah, listen, I did not love Doechii's look, and unfortunately, I think that all of her best looks that would have worked for the Met Gala, she used at the Grammys via Tom Brown. And what happened is that Pharrell made some personal calls and got Doechii to come over to Louis Vuitton when she was originally going to be fitted by Tom Brown. And the results were just very fine. You know, it was like a good look that would be like a wow on a magazine cover or something, but it just wasn't feeling like Met Gala shut down the carpet stunning. And while I liked the LV print on her cheek, it did just feel very Louis Vuitton ad. And I'm also going to drag Damson Idris, who looked so fucking hot in his red suit. And you had the pull away moment too, where he had the helmet on, which was great. But it was just an ad for the movie that he's in, F1. And I think using the Met Gala red carpet to do promo for your movie is tacky.
Well, I'll just say this. There is a problem with the Met Gala just in general where every celebrity now has the perfect team. So like the grandiose, crazy looks.
Not everybody.
Well, they all feel like kind of interchangeable to me. It like disappoints me when somebody can't take the theme and make it really say something about their personality. I will at least say about Doechii, it felt like her. You know, like it was quite corporate, the look of it. And I don't like the little flap kind of tuxedo tail on this short she was wearing. But otherwise, it did feel specific to her. A lot of these looks say nothing about the personality themselves. That said, I was disappointed in me, Lewis, looking at Zendaya's look. She wore a bright white. And I didn't immediately identify this as a mahogany tribute. And I guess that's what it was. My immediate thought was Faye Dunaway in the Thomas Crown Affair, but I was sorely mistaken. Yeah. To be fair, I was thinking about it anyway, and I just projected it right onto her.
It's your white dandyism.
Lewis, did you clock that Sydney Sweeney was doing a Kim Novak moment?
No, I saw that look several times. Like she couldn't stop.
When she said it.
She looked gorgeous, as is her wont, but I will say that I do think it's my favorite look of hers, if only because it brought attention to the fact that she is going to be playing Kim Novak in a movie she's producing and pulled Coleman Domingo in to direct it. Mm-hmm. It's going to be about how Kim Novak had this troubled relationship with Sammy Davis Jr.
Right.
I am extremely on fucking board for this. So even if it's not necessarily what I saw on the carpet, thank you. That's movie promo I do want to see. I want to read some Deadline articles.
And that's okay. Who's playing Sammy Davis Jr.?
I did not recognize the name, but what I think is interesting is that Coleman
David Johnson.
There you go. Coleman wrote a play about Nat King Cole that's currently in New York, and he's going to do that movie as well. He's in this world, and I am excited.
And also, by the way, Kim Novak, very much still with us. So that's an interesting wrinkle on that, too.
What's interesting, too, is this is a project that's been in the works for a minute because Jeremy Pope was originally attached to play Sammy Davis Jr. with Janet Mock directing a few years ago and in Scandalous, and it never came to fruition. And I like Coleman Domingo and Sydney Sweeney teaming up. Jeremy Pope also looked
amazing,
fine as always. But like part of me was sort of like, is this it? But he looked good. You know, he was styled by Law Roach, and Law was doing the whole Burberry table, so like everybody was styled by Law Roach. It seems like a third of the people there, and that's also why I feel like some stuff slipped through the cracks because Zendaya's look was also worn by Anna Sawai on the carpet too.
No way! I didn't even see her on the red carpet.
Yes, girl. Well, actually, I don't know if she was on the carpet. The stylist at least put up an Instagram photo, and they were talking about the inspiration, and they were like, and also I guess Zendaya inspired us too. I'm wondering, Zendaya's such a cool chick though. I hope she like found Anna at the Met Gala and they took like a photo together or something.
I love it when Emmy winners meet up like that and just vibe. Now wait, something happened here that we haven't even brought up yet. Excuse me, Nicki Minaj was there. And as you know, I don't really know her current life situation or where she's allowed to be and if she's banned from most of the New York metropolitan area. So what did we think of this look? Which I'm going to go as woman who shows up to your grandfather's funeral expecting an inheritance and you've never seen her before.
A lot of looks were giving Cheetah Rivera in
yes.
musical.
I thought Nicki Minaj looked fantastic as a Barb. I am legally required to say so. But she also did look good. And I had heard that she was going to be there because I heard that there was some hushed secret meetings about her arriving there. And because obviously Cardi B was there as well.
Yes.
And we did not want another Harper's moment. You know, all that rah-rah never was the icon issue.
But I think I read something about Law having a hand in both of their looks, Cardi and Nicki.
Yes, he did. So
congrats.
Yes, right? He is peace in the Middle East, okay? He is bridging the gap. So he styled Nicki Minaj, and then I believe Colin Carter styled Cardi B specifically, but because he did the entire Burberry table, he talks about it in Elle magazine. I believe sort of Law was at the helm of the Cardi look and then didn't do the specific styling. But I thought she looked great. She looked like lettuce, but she looked sexy. And I want to say I really liked Cardi B's too, because one of my main problems with the sort of Met Gala vibe this year, and I loved this theme, by the way. I love the celebration of Blackness. I love the celebration of Black dandyism. It steeps into queerness, and it honored Andre Leon Talley, who was never honored enough by Vogue or Anna while he was alive, and now they want to do this big show for him now that he's dead. But I did not really like the fact that everyone just steeped into 20s, like Harlem Renaissance, like Guys and Dolls sort of looks. Like, I don't think everyone needed to be in a suit, and I don't think it all needed to, it was called Black dandyism, but a lot of people online kept thinking like the theme was like black and white too. It wasn't. Like, it was there was not enough color on that carpet. And when I think of dandyism, I'm thinking of color, which is why I loved Cardi B. And I kind of love Chapel Roan too, because they were both giving Jimi Hendrix, like they were giving 70s rock-ish, like they were giving color, they were giving vibes. I love Tracy Ellis Ross, give us some fucking color.
The version of that I loved was Tiana Taylor's look, which was bright red. And it's like,
baby,
first of all,
she looked good as hell.
First of all, anybody who calls to mind Lord Licorice, I'm signing up for. That's who I came here to see at the Met Gala. That's
not
Roan,
really, because Alicia Keys.
Oh, that too. No, she said I'm Red Vines too, baby.
She wasn't giving for me, which was unfortunate because if you go back to the songs in A minor vibe of Alicia Keys,
right,
she used to dress in like the Black dandyism vibe more back then than what she was giving on the carpet.
Right.
A colorful look I loved, and they'll come up later, is Cola Scola had this extremely colorful suit. The sort of like
yes.
gorgeous wet hair I loved.
Took me a moment, but I loved it.
I'll agree with you with the suit, but I will say I think maybe my favorite look of the evening was the designer Willie Chavaria, who had this sort of like Chicano like zoot suit with like this like deeply I am not a fashion person, I'm also colorblind for listeners at home, but this like deeply gilded and sort of pearled silver tie with a gold crucifix keychain and these roses. It looked so fucking good and was sort of a take on like Chicano dandyism, I guess is the thing. It wasn't necessarily
Pachuco style. It was sexy. I love Willie's looks, and I think that worked on him in a way it didn't work on Shakira.
Oh, Shakira. That was like the exact wrong color for this whole theme. Like she wore just like a baby pink. So first of all, it feels like that's 3 Met Galas ago. And then secondly, it just was completely out of step with the really sharp, swaggery colors that everybody else was wearing.
She usually looks great, and I feel bad because my friend is her stylist, but baby, it was giving quinceañera.
Yeah, quite. And I believe Azealia Banks also said that. So once again, the great thinkers of our generation, Ira and Azealia, are in step.
Yeah, it was just, and the train was just like a lot. Also, listen, Rihanna shut it down with the train like a few years ago. Okay, so if we're allowing Diana Ross because she looked fantastic and she's mother.
Yeah,
you know, she's allowed.
She's the mother of mothers. Yeah,
right. She's allowed that big ass train, and she's also on tour at the moment too. So she popped over there. She was like, my kids were like, "You got to do it. You got to do it," and she was like, "So I came." But she's just on tour at the moment, and she looked great in her white, and that train was fucking huge, you know. But yeah, I think some people were like doing a bit too much with the trains this time. Speaking of white looks, though, Coco Jones looked fucking amazing. And if you are not listening to Coco Jones, by the way, you are missing out because her voice is everything. She has this live rendition of her single Put You On, which she did. You just go to YouTube, Put You On live. She did an encore for this version of the Terrell Show. The vocal range in that song, the lesson that she is putting on, the glissando that she does at the end of it, she is a person that people should be paying a lot more attention to. Every time I play a Coco Jones song at the gay afters, they're always like, "Who is this?" And I'm like, "You should know."
I love how all your gay afters are people yelling, "Who is this?" at you.
Listen, you know, I took.
In his head, that's what they're saying.
I took a. They said it out loud. Okay, you can ask Charles Pierce himself, Juan Ramirez. But you listen, for a decade, people were asking me, "Who is this?" about Rita Ora, and now they finally know her.
That's true.
Thank you.
I did that. Me.
You know what? Okay, I'm gonna say I agree that the suit thing was the overall look everyone went to, but some of the ones I noted that I most loved, I really liked Lauryn Hill, who came with this attendant.
Baby.
Bringing an attendant to hold your parasol. I mean, ooh.
Also,
and also unusual color
red
story.
Carpet.
No, that's crazy. No.
Okay.
Anna put it in a text. She says you show up at this time. Yeah.
Anna told her the Met Gala was Saturday.
Yeah.
She looked fucking amazing. And also, this is our theater episode, and I'm gonna talk about a couple of white men. First, the man in theater, Tom Francis from Sunset Boulevard.
Help me.
Could stomp me in the fucking face. My friend Michael Martelli, who by the way is in a band called Trophy Wife, and they have a song called Keep It. So people should listen to that song. It's actually pretty good. Okay. But he was bartending the event, and he was just like, Tom Francis, he gave him a water in person, and he was just like sweating looking at this man.
If you don't know, Tom Francis is in Sunset Boulevard. He plays the Joe Gillis role, the main role. And
I have to go back because I saw an understudy. I've not seen him in the show.
Oh my God. One of your many flaws. When you see this performance, there's a part where he is in a kind of just a boxer brief, I guess. It's weird that I don't think I've ever seen Star making thighs before. I've never seen it.
Wait, I don't think anyone has ever screenshotted that one damn curtain call and zoomed in to see what was happening in there. More times than this fucking curtain call.
Now, Lewis, he is descended from the father of star-making thighs in a Broadway musical, and that is Cheyenne Jackson in Xanadu.
Right. Which is
Those short shorts
Oh my God.
all around the world.
I could draw the fringe on those
died.
shorts right now from memory.
Tom Francis looked great. And then also, I was shocked that Patrick Schwarzenegger killed his look.
I'm not. I feel like he can read a room and sort of dial in without like kind of trying too hard. He's not a try too hard vibe.
No, I just loved it. I thought he was like perfectly styled, perfectly tailored. I loved the handbag with a belt that he was holding, so it was attached to his hand. I need one of those. And honestly, Patrick is currently sort of petitioning to get the lead in the American Psycho remake, and I think give it to him.
I don't know.
Like the final episode of White Lotus made me believe that he can act, and the styling here, he's a star.
To me, he gives rom-com.
I know. I trust that Luca Guadagnino would draw a good performance from him, and I also did enjoy sort of seeing his emotions play out on his face throughout this extremely bad season. But if Luca makes him show whole or something, like give it to him. He wants it this bad.
That's true.
Baby, the girls are gonna come for you.
Speaking of
Another
which,
person saying they didn't like White Lotus.
oh yeah, no, we're on a watch list. I can't explain it. One last note about white people at the Met Gala. Again, Nick Jonas attempting to tap into something of black dandyism, and the closest he gets is Gaston. Oops.
Well, listen, Nick Jonas is busy trying to tap into singing.
Ooh, yeah, right. Wait, he's still in that show, right?
Yes, they have somehow not emergency recast that role.
Yeah, people seem to be distressed.
I will shout out the fact that the Time Out review of the last 5 years, the production in which he is one of 2 stars, the other being Adrian Warren, the subhead is "Not Since Beanie."
Wow.
In reference to Beanie Feldstein and Funny Girl.
And this is a man who used to turn me on with his singing. Like Jealous, the remix with Tinashe, that's a hot song. Go back to R&B, baby. I want to shout out Priyanka, though, who I thought looked great, beside him. And I want to shout out another Bollywood star, Shah Rukh Khan, but also he is so much more than a Bollywood star. He is truly just like a global superstar, one of the most famous men in the world. I know that we're very Americanized for a lot of our culture, but this man, like the way people shut down hotels outside for Gaga, like if you saw the video of people like saying, "Please, Gaga," outside of her hotel in Brazil, they shut down whole fucking blocks when he is at hotels. Like he is the most famous global superstar. And if he had been staying at one of those hotels where the rest of the celebrities were staying at, no one would have been able to get out. So I just think that there was more deference that needed to be paid to him being at that carpet, because he was the most famous person on that red carpet. Sort of similar, weirdly, to the way that the Blackpink girls are insanely famous and, just walking amongst these regular celebrities. But Lisa, why did you have Rosa Parks on your panties? Why was Rosa Parks on your pussy?
Oh, no.
Okay?
It is unfortunate. That's where she most peaked out.
Okay? She wanted to be in the front of the bus, not the front of the puss. Okay? That was bad move.
To be fair, we never asked Rosa if she wanted to be on the front of the bus. I don't want you to assume. The Montgomery Puss boycott, she may have started it.
Oh, that's fair. Rosa Parks was actually in the first Savage X Fenty show. But Rosé, by the way, didn't love her hair. But I will say that Jenny looked amazing.
Jenny always looks amazing, I have to say.
Yeah, Jenny looked amazing.
Even her Coachella look, I loved too.
Yeah, well, the look was the only good part about that Coachella.
That was about to add that.
Yes. Do we have any other looks that we just sort of really gagged for?
I think I covered all of mine. I did like Law Roach having this sort of Walter Mercado like blonde swoop thing.
The
But
pussy wig. She was playing. I love Laura.
But what I love about this, I mean, I agree with you, Ira. Like, I love this theme. It's so good. It's so like rich, you know. But I think also shout out to whoever handled the guest list, because there were people here who I would just never like. This has to be Lauryn Hill's first, right? Or at least first
and you'll never see them
decades.
again.
Exactly, but well done. No, sorry.
They trotted out these black people for black dandyism, and Anna will lose their names next year. I just want to know, because some of these black people fucking killed it.
No, there's a textile artist, Eric Mack, who had this amazing suit with this like headscarf, and he had this like thin little mustache. He looked so fucking good. And just more people who, I mean, don't relegate it to like if their race applies to that year's theme, but people who apply to the theme and people who you wouldn't see, and have them show up and show out.
Because obviously Janelle killed it. Obviously Tessa Thompson looked fucking great. I thought this is sort of one of the best that Jeremy O'Harris has ever looked. Like I loved like I love the dramaturgy in his look. It was fucking amazing, and that's what you get from theater people. But these are people that you see at the Met Gala all the time. You know, Brian Tyree looked fucking amazing. But I'm like, some of these other black actors, they shut down this fucking carpet in ways that and they were on theme in ways that you normally don't see from some of these white celebrities. And I just want to know if they'll be back next year. And they should be.
They don't announce the theme until well into it, right? Like we have months and months to hear from that, right?
No, they sort of announce it.
It's always earlier than you think. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
But I will put co-chair of the event Pharrell on timeout, because there was zero vision, zero effort,
boring as hell. And
maybe he said, I'm a black dandy IRL, so I don't have to try for this one. But I was bored as hell. Are you kidding? And he's a co-chair.
I thought you were a Lego, first of all, bitch.
Listen, I like that movie. I will go on the record. I actually really fucking like that movie.
I know. You told me to watch it, and I need to see it.
But we should end this on a more traditional keep it note. Madonna was also at the Met Gala, and she brought props. Her look basically revolved around a cigar, which to me called back to the single artwork for the Deeper and Deeper song from the early 90s. Great video where she's dressed like Edie Sedgwick. Fine. Because I also like the cigar because, again, I thought like a key part of the theme was swagger. Like you're supposed to kind of surge into a room, demanding attention. And I think props are a big part of that.
Yeah. I don't know. She was sort of giving like If I Were a Boy video.
Not my favorite Beyonce song.
Or wait, what's the Sierra one? Sorry. Like a Boy.
Like
she was giving
yeah.
Like a Boy. Or Beyonce did have a cigar in one of her videos, and I'm blanking on it at the moment.
Dance for You.
Yeah, Dance for You. Yeah, she was sort of giving that. I don't know. It was just very expected for her, and I was a little bored by it. And also, but there's always something that creeps up about my girl that pisses me off. And this week, it was Montel Jordan giving an interview where he talked about his interaction with Madonna. And this was when This Is How We Do It was #1 on the charts in 1995. And of course, you had Take a Bow, which then was #1. And that was #1 for a while. And then This Is How We Do It went to #1. But Madonna, I guess, had tried to get like his publishing rights or something, and she couldn't get it, but she got them of the co-writer. Like they joined like the label that she was at or whatever. And Montel says that he ran into Madonna at an event and she was like, "Don't I own you?"
I would object, except that sounds very authentic to her. So
once again, I go back to, and maybe I just need to write this, to be honest. We've talked about on the show for years that there is a play to be done about Madonna's interactions with famous black men.
No, actually, yes.
No, it has to be a series. Every episode is from the vantage point of a different black man.
The Tupac one is 3 parts.
Yeah. No.
The Michael Jackson one.
Oh God, we conclude on the Basquiat, of course.
Yes. Yeah. The Michael Jackson one is them meeting once at the Oscars, and then him just hearing people constantly being like, "Madonna's talking about your best friends," and he's like, "Who?" Because she has milked that meeting for more than you can milk. Like the cow. The cow has no more milk in it. Okay, the udders are falling off.
This is a snatched cow. Yes,
the celebration. When we went to the fucking celebration tour
And it ended with
oh yeah, I took Juan to the celebration tour for his birthday and last year.
months apart, but thank you.
Okay,
Ira.
well, it was a gift. Okay, don't
And
look
I'm
at gift
grateful.
Madonna in the mouth. But when she closes that concert with the
The
version
silhouette
and then
dancing.
the silhouettes of them dancing, and then just that one photo of them from the Oscars from different angles. Baby, give it up.
It's tough. That was tough. And also, again, this is like during a break in the show when she's switching costumes. So you see just the silhouettes of Michael Jackson doing very familiar Michael Jackson moonwalking moves. And then Madonna dancing like I have never seen her dance before. In like a virgin garb. Yeah.
Yeah, she's dancing like the Chipettes.
Yeah.
the first time I ever heard Like a Virgin, by the way.
It reminded me of when I went to go see ABBA Voyage in London, which I otherwise loved, but there are parts where the avatars are just like doing splits and doing all these sorts of high kicks, and I'm like, Agnetha was never doing this shit.
No, Anna Fried was like, I will point and then leave the stage. Yeah.
Listen, if it wasn't for the Knights, that song is about when they were doing those splits, okay?
I love that song. We love that song. Before we get to the rest of the episode, some quick housekeeping. Trans people are under attack by weirdos who think trans people shouldn't exist, and billionaire sex pests should. Stand up for the trans community in a Trans People Have Always Existed t-shirt or tote at the Crooked store. Show your defiance with a statement that isn't actually radical at all. Head to crooked.com/store to shop.
All right, when we are back, our favorite segment of the episode, it's Keep It. Today's episode is sponsored by Acorns. And I ain't talking about the thing that squirrel keeps stealing from my tree.
You're talking about some other Acorn. In fact, you're talking about Acorns, which is a financial wellness app that makes it easy to start saving and investing for your future. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now, even if all you've got is spare change. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns recommends a diversified portfolio that can help you weather all of the market's ups and downs. You just need to stick with it, and Acorns makes that easy too. Acorns automatically invest your money, giving it a chance to grow with time.
This just sounds like the lyrics to Love Don't Cost a Thing.
Which, I don't know, in this economy, as you've heard, it now does cost quite a bit.
Yeah, the tariffs.
That's right. You know what's nice about Acorns? It's passive investing. So it makes it really easy to keep contributing, even if you're somebody who never wants to think about your financial well-being and just live blithely in the universe as, other people take advantage of you.
I think of myself as a blithe spirit.
Oh, okay, Mr. Noel Coward. Or Mrs. Noel Coward, if you believe the rumors.
Well, what you should do is sign up now and join over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $25 billion with Acorns. Head to acorns.com/keepit or download the Acorns app to get started. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 1 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/keepit. Keep It is brought to you by Fatty 15.
All right, Ira, how much time, money, and energy have you spent on health and wellness products and supplements to look and feel younger and healthier? And did it work in A Death Becomes Her Way?
Well, let me tell you something. Buying Ozempic in an alley from a man in a trench coat is not advisable.
Oh, wow. A man in a trench coat and alley. You were in the Billie Jean video when this happened.
No, I think we both know that spending money on not just supplements, but your gym, spending it on meal prep and other things can get pricey. And so you need to figure out a way to keep your body looking fresh and clean, but at an affordable rate.
And one way you can do that is with Fatty 15. We're so excited to share with you C15 from Fatty 15, the first essential fatty acid to be discovered in more than 90 years. It's an incredible scientific breakthrough to support our long-term health and wellness, and you guessed it, aging and longevity. And as you know, we are aging here, and our longevity is in question. Based on over 100 studies, we now know that C15 strengthens our cells and is a key longevity-enhancing nutrient, which helps to slow biological aging at the cellular level. In fact, when our cells don't have enough C15, they become fragile and age faster, and when our cells age, our bodies age too. Thankfully, Fatty 15 repairs age-related damage to cells protects them from future breakdown, and activates pathways in the body that help regulate our sleep, mood, and natural repair mechanisms that support our overall health. This functionality leads to so many other exciting benefits now, and as we get older. In fact, 72% of Fatty 15 customers report seeing or feeling benefits within 16 weeks, including improved metabolic, liver, and heart health, smoother functioning joints, and deeper sleep, or healthier hair, skin, and nails. Now, that's essential.
Fatty 15 is also a science-backed, award-winning, vegan, patented, 100% pure C15 supplement. It's vegan-friendly, free of flavors, fillers, allergens, or preservatives. Now, if that's not 100% pure love, I don't know what is.
Oh, Crystal Waters, Pride season is coming. We will be hearing those vocals again soon. My experience with Fatty 15, my skin is better than ever. My rosacea is down. I am glowing. I look like Nicole Kidman in Portrait of a Lady.
Well, best of all, Fatty 15 comes in a gorgeous reusable glass bamboo jar, and refills are shipped right to your door. Fatty 15 is on a mission to optimize your C15 levels to help you live healthier, longer. You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/keepit and using code KEEPIT at checkout. And we're back with our favorite segment of the episode. It is Keep It. Juan, as our guest of honor this week, you get to go first.
Thank you. So for this one, I'm going to rely on Lewis to tell me what's going on because I don't live in California. I have never lived in California.
As you know, I'm a reporter here. I'm up to date on all the issues.
Exactly. You're going to have to explain to me why I thought that your governor, Gavin Newsom, was a good guy. And then a few weeks ago, him being a straight man, of course, he has a podcast. And of course, he brought out that hideous twerp, Charlie Kirk, to talk about how he does not believe trans women should be allowed to play in sports. That was a few weeks ago. And then now he wants to collaborate with the Trump administration to, quote, make America film again. So was I just being bamboozled by the fact that he was kind of pro-gay?
Well, his whole thing now is bringing up, like, I need to reach across the aisle, and isn't this going to be exciting when I reach across the aisle? And it turns out when you reach across the aisle, you set yourself on fire because it's on fire over there. So I don't know why he would do that, touching the stove again and again. But he's like, you'll even have a conversation with someone like Bill Maher, and we think it's supposed to be productive, and it's like, no, but we don't come to... What do you think we're going to come to? Like a compromise or an actual meeting of minds here? Like, it's just not how it works. So it feels very kind of Pollyanna-ish of him, and at worst, disgusting.
Yeah, because see, the thing is, like, Trump announced these, like, maybe upcoming, like, film tariffs. Who knows what's going to happen with that? So when I hear that Gavin Newsom wants to collaborate with him, obvious knee-jerk reaction against that. But then I think, okay, you know what? No, maybe, he's sort of trying to find the light in this and really sort of uphold American film. But then the statement he released said he is eager to partner with the Trump administration to further strengthen domestic production and make America film again. Keep it to the phrase, make America film again. I am sick.
Most American films suck. To be honest.
Yeah, I'm not like super determined for them to be here either, right? Where is this initiative? Okay.
It's just going to be more green screens for Marvel movies that are in a backlot. We'll bring back backlots, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, first of all, Gavin Newsom used to be a bit sexier. And you know what happens when you have a white man with some gray hair who looks hot and lays sort of on an animal print rug with the shirt kind of open. He used to turn us on, okay?
Has that happened?
Yes, him and Kimberly Guilfoyle, which, by the way, he used to be married to before she started dating and was briefly engaged to Don Jr. This is lore, okay? This is political history, Juan. These are things that used to happen. We used to sort of like him, but now he's just an asshole. And I want to say about the movie industry thing, too, it's sort of weird because you have the movie industry in America is dying a very fast death, which Donald Trump posted on the social platform. I just want to say that it's annoying and it's stupid coming from him because so many of our films are actually shot in other countries. Like people don't know how many of their favorite scenes were shot in other countries or just parts of them, etc. A lot of these Marvel movies too, by the way. But in a way, there's something that Gavin Newsom needs to be doing that actually is not partnering with Trump, but like focusing on filming more stuff in California, for one, because we're talking about films and we should be focused on the TV industry because there are 40% less TV writing jobs since the writers' strike, which means, the workforce is dwindling, baby. People are out of work. We're not making TV shows like we used to be. Studios and networks are just like fucking like not paying writers, or you have writers who are now writing limited run series by themselves, so they're not hiring staffs. Like, that's the shit we need to be focusing on. We're not focusing on this like make American film again nonsense. Like, that's bullshit.
Well, also, by the way, I feel like Trump's whole thing is he was recently inspired literally by a meeting with Jon Voight, who, as you know, finger on the pulse. If you want somebody to interpret the news for you, please let it be Angelina Jolie's father that she hasn't spoke to in 100 years.
Also, the American films that he's been in, like his appearance in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, that's what he wants. If movies were still made in America, then I would be in them again, right?
No, literally. I mean, like, did he buy, like, accidentally a Korean DVD of Home Alone 2 that doesn't play on his player at home? And he's like, make America film again? Like, it could be anything.
My Keep It continues being mad at Donald Trump. Obviously, he has the tariffs on film, but also, to keep in with our theater talk this week, the National Endowment for the Arts has cut grants for theaters because Trump is proposing eliminating the agency. Fuck him. Like this is a thing that actually is creating art in America, by the way. Mm-hmm. Like theaters across the country rely on grants. And I see some like stupid shit online there was some idiot producer in the comments of an Instagram post, and I hate being one of those people who, argues an Instagram post with people you'll never meet. But it's like theater productions should only, produce things with the money that they make from ticket sales, et cetera. That is not how theater works. It is from benefactors, and it's from grants, and it's from endowments. And that is how art fucking works in this country. And this is just continuing this trend of destroying all creative, interesting thought that could possibly do anything to upset the Trump administration. And, theater sort of right now is just like the most dangerous art form, because films are so fucking hard to get made and TV's doing whatever it's doing right now. But theater, you get just some playwrights and some actors in a dark room where conservatives have no idea what's fucking going on until they hear about it later. Like, I'm sure they don't even know that Betty Boop is played by a black woman in Boop. They'll find out at the Tonys if she wins, right? Or if they try to make a movie about it, they'll be in arms and will be like, well, it was running on Broadway for quite some time. You could have found out about it. Theater is sort of like the bastion where they don't know what the fuck is going on.
He's also just slashing funds wherever anything seems remotely liberal. So it's like this like vindictive idea at wokeness, right? Like that's what that means altogether. And people just have this like animal instinct to think that's really handling things. That's making the government quote unquote more efficient. So it's it's meaninglessly unhelpful.
Which is so stupid too, because a lot of the classics, the standards, these Death of a Salesman, etc., these were considered crazy woke things that shook audiences like in the 50s and 60s, Right. So time makes things less woke, but we need to really be fostering the arts and theater in this fucking country, and it pisses me off.
Well, speaking of woke, that gets into my Keep It, which is, did you know I was bamboozled by Met Gala fake photos, AI photos that happen every fucking year, including this one of Katy Perry wearing a liquidy, quote unquote, Mugler outfit, where, to be honest, she looks sensational, but it's a fake photo. And I just want to say, keep it to the repetitive Met Gala online nonsense that occurs every year. Like, I know the whole point is that we're sick of seeing Jason Derulo fall down the stairs, and we still post a picture of him in quotes falling down the stairs, or fake AI photos or whatever. Please just let the fashion be the moment. Please, can it not be the non-intelligentsia out in the universe, like clogging my feed with non-famous, with non-real photos? Let me just look at Tiana Taylor. Let me just look at Janelle Monáe, etc. I don't need the same non-commentary, the same like half laugh that expired in 2019 or whatever. Good, yeah. You agree. Thanks.
Katy Perry, Madonna and Celebrations Tour, and Agnetha and Annie Fried all coming for our asses with their lies.
I knew Katy Perry wasn't going to be anywhere near that red carpet. First of all, she's on allegedly on a tour. The Lifetime's
All right,
tour.
has that begun?
I feel like that tour is actually getting read to filth a bit hard. I mean, just like it's a pop tour. Like there's going to be some silly dance moves, and she's not, Twyla Tharp trained or whatever. So it's not going to be as complex as unique as whatever an Ailey tour.
I have not seen a single image.
Oh, I've seen it on TikTok. It looks horrible. I don't need complex, Lewis. Okay, I went to see Yo Gabba Gabba at Coachella. Okay, and that was a lot better than what I'm seeing from the Lifetime's tour.
I mean, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I was high as hell, and it was great.
That is our show. Juan, thank you so much for being here as always and clarifying the insanity of the Met Gala with us. You're a real interpreter of pop culture, as it were.
Thank you, Lewis. Thank you for having me, both of you. Lewis, I feel like it's summer, so you're going to be in New York soon.
I will be there next week, literally, where I will be filming our next episode with Ira in person. So get ready for it'll look like Charlie Rose. We'll be sitting across the table from each other, and we'll ask each other intimidating questions. And then Charlie will keep interrupting, especially if we're women, since he was a complete sexist.
Okay, perfect. We can go throw water balloons at Ira's house.
Dang.
Well, we didn't have any women on this episode, but you
That's
know what?
true.
I like the odds I'm seeing. No girls, all men. That's a quote from Smash.